Hey, it's Angie here with Angie's Beyond the Lecture, and today we are going to review a couple of solubility problems and some common terms you'll see in solubility curves. And before we start off, please like and subscribe if you'd like to follow me for more STEM action. Over the past couple of decades, I've tutored geometry and chemistry a lot, and also physics, anatomy and physiology, biology, pre-cal, algebra, and so on. So I primarily focus on high school and college. But back to the task at hand here, we have, again, a couple of solubility problems, and this document will be linked in the video description as well as my website and on Patreon for free. We have two questions. One is how many grams of potassium nitrate can dissolve in 200 grams of water at 60 degrees. And then we also have a saturated solution where we have a maximum amount of solute, and we're going to lower that temperature down to 20 degrees and see how much precipitates out. So these are two very common questions I see where students sort of struggle with the overall concept. The math is not that difficult, really. It's just struggling with the overall concept to put it into numbers and get the final answer. And also, you should understand, before we start here, the types of solutions that we have that we can determine from this particular graph. So I'm going to show this graph below. I'm going to scooch on down and see what we have here. So we have 4 ionic substances being dissolved in 100 grams of water. That is key here. Sorry about the pen. That is key there. You need to understand how much water as a solvent we're putting these substances in. And you'll notice we have sodium chlorate, potassium nitrate, potassium bromide, sodium chloride. And as temperatures increase, they each have their own characteristic way of behaving and either taking in more solute at a higher rate or possibly not, depending on how steep that line is. Now, unsaturated solutions are simply, as far as definitions go, you just need to understand that you can keep adding more solute and it will not get saturated. It'll keep taking in and dissolving that particular solute. We call that unsaturated. Now, for an example, if I look at potassium bromide and I say I'm at 80 degrees Celsius and I maybe have 50 grams of solute in there. So we're sitting, perhaps right here. I'm sitting on the C of the NaCl. Now notice that's way below the solubility line, and we can keep adding more. As a matter of fact, we can keep adding up to about 95. That's sitting between 90 and 100, so I'll say 95. So at 95 grams of KBr at 80 degrees Celsius and 100 grams of water, we're saturated, which means if you keep adding, it'll most likely precipitate out, and you'll see the solid crystals because the solution can no longer dissolve any more solute. So that's saturated, and then we have supersaturated. So if I were to keep adding, maybe go up to 120, that's right above the saturation line, so to speak. We can no longer take more. It's going to most likely crystallize out. You can see those solid crystals. It's a very common, lab work done in high school and in college. So I wanted to go over those definitions real quick so you understand the graph. Now, a lot of questions will say, hey, I have so much solute at a certain temperature and amount of water. What's the status? Are we looking at unsaturated, saturated, or supersaturated? That's a pretty common question, and you just need to be able to read the graph, simply pick out the substance, and then figure out where you're at. Are you on the line, above the line, or below the line? When we go to the top and look at that first question, how many grams of sodium nitrate can be put into 200 grams of water at 60 degrees Celsius? So remember, this is for 100 grams, not 200 grams. So we just need to look at this as a proportion. Now, reading the graph, I'm going to scooch down again. 60 degrees, KNO3. We can take, I'm going to put that dot again. I'm sitting right at 130. Ooh. Yeah, it's nice to kind of mark. You can actually like I'll put a dashed line here, you know, that's sitting at right at 130, exactly between 120 and 140. So we'll say that's 130. I'll scooch up here. So I can put in 130 grams KNO3, but that's per 100 grams of H2O. So, you know, how much, running out of room here, Angie. We can look at this as a proportion, really, and I should put an equal sign there, right? So what is X? And we can simply say, we can use our proportions. You can cross multiply too, whatever you feel comfortable with, or just know in your head, hey, I need to double 130. 130 times 2 is 160 grams. Sorry, 260. I lied. 260. Maybe I should put in the calculator, huh? All right, so yeah, we can dissolve 260 grams of KNO3. That's it. End of story. Now the next question asks about, we're going to take a saturated solution at a particular temperature, and we're just going to move it down the scale to 20 degrees. So we're starting at 100 degrees, ending at 20 degrees Celsius, and we need to pick out our solute, sodium chlorate. I'll change colors here. Sodium chlorate at 100, sorry. That's sitting just above 230. I'm going to say it's 230. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of leeway in these problems that's cutting right above 230. I'll just say 230. Let's keep it simple. So we can take or hold 230 grams of our sodium chlorate, and we just need to trek down. We just need to trek down the line here, right? We need to go to 20. Okay. There's 20 right there. 20 is, well, it's between 100 and 120, right at that midpoint. So we can say it's 110. And maybe I should use my calculator today, huh? 230 minus 110. Maybe I didn't have enough coffee. 120. 120. Yeah. So 120 and 110. Okay. Oh, not KNO3. Na. Sodium chlorate. All right, that's it. So some students tend to, with number 2, really, I mean, once you look at the graph and take a look at what's going on, the sequence, we're starting here and ending up here, how much leaves, you know, it's just a matter of tracking solubility at one point. Where does it end up at another point? You're simply doing the difference. Okay. And I hope you enjoyed this quick video. I'll have more coming out this week with the different subjects I put on the little image. I'll put out the subjects again. We have solubility, we have acids and bases, thermochemistry. I think there was something else I'm forgetting. Oh, reaction kinetics. Okay, largely high school. I'll do some college too as well. But again, these are the 2 trickier questions I've seen with solubility. So just helping you with those commonly missed questions in solution chemistry. So make it a great day, and check out these other videos I'll put in the at the end of the video for chemistry and also geometry. See what can help you. So have a great one.